Shout out to IGN for pretty much doing my job for me. But regardless, welcome back, true believers and all you spectacular Spidey fans, to the moment a lot of us have been waiting for. I would think some more than others, while the rest of us have been cautiously, very worriedly waiting towards what exactly Spider-Man's gameplay is going to look like within the Marvel's Avengers gaming format. And of course, as I say that, today is November 22nd, 2021, which you might find strange how we already have gameplay for Spider-Man since it was confirmed by Crystal Dynamics that we are going to see a war table for Spider-Man with gameplay on November 29th, the day before his release on November 30th. Well, IGN said hell with that and decided to, in 1 in the morning on November 22nd, fully showcase 5 minutes of hands-on gameplay with Spider-Man. His combat, his swinging, his abilities, his support, his assault, and his ultimate, and talk about his main story inclusion in the Marvel's Avengers world. And it's very, very bad. I mean, to be blunt, I did see this at 1 a.m., which I was still up, crazy enough, doing some stuff with Guardians of the Galaxy, which, amazing game. But I saw this, and I was very confused because I thought we were going to have to wait about a week until we saw more gameplay for Spider-Man. But IGN luckily decided to save us from waiting that much longer to see this very average gameplay of Spider-Man in action, and as I kind of personally speculated going into this, it's just Spider-Man interpreted into the Marvel's Avengers game. That's what I've been saying since day one, because the gameplay structure that Marvel's Avengers has as a live service looter brawler, alongside of not being a completely ground-up built free-roaming experience, is obviously going to set some limitations for Spider-Man as a hero. His swinging is obviously not going to be anything close to Insomniac's, and anyone who did think that was absolutely delusional. So right here, again, we're going to kind of rewatch this. I did see this at like 1:30 in the morning, but now I'm able to rewatch it in full for you guys and give you my thoughts, and IGN already kind of broke down everything you need to know about Spider-Man in this video. So go see the video first if you want to learn everything, then come back to hear my thoughts about it. Again, they break down his combat, story, abilities, some suits. We're going to have over 40, but again, a lot of those are probably going to be recolors of already existing suits, so a pink and green looking Steve Ditko suit's probably not something that a lot of people are looking forward to, but you'll probably will get that since this is, again, Marvel's Avengers. So again, we have the video right here from IGN. Very crazy. Again, they were able to post this before the war table, which I don't know why. I don't know why we just didn't wait until the war table day itself to see gameplay, but here we are. Again, Marvel's Avengers Spider-Man exclusive hands-on preview. We got the chance to spend 2 hours playing with Spider-Man and Marvel's Avengers. Here's what we thought. Great. And again, I did already see this, but now I'm going to rewatch it for you guys to provide you my insights as we're watching it during the video. Alright, 3, 2, 1, go. Sean Chiplock off the bat.
Finally, on November 30th,
right here,
swinging his way into Marvel's Avengers.
So I find it more interesting that you can actually like let go of a web line and then swing, whereas I initially thought we were going to like hold down a button and then he'll just swing automatically forward, but it looks like you can swing, let go, kind of like, again, The Amazing Spider-Man 1 or Shattered Dimensions / Edge of Time, where it's, again, sky swinging. It's not anywhere close to Spider-Man 2 or Insomniac's games. It's Spider-Man Avengers. So sky swinging is the only way to go at this point. Dodges look cool. His combat's very acrobatic, but it's all stiff looking because the combat is not that smooth in Marvel's Avengers. This is strange.
Doesn't have any of his own story missions.
No story missions.
More akin to a character joining a hero shooter roster. As with
right, because it's an event and not an operation. But for a character as big as Spider-Man, that is a big downside.
Quick evades, perfect dodges, and quick-fire melee attacks.
Right, air combat looks interesting. He has air combat, so that's cool. The spider sense going off is a nice touch, I will say. Although, I don't know how useful that will be.
As with any of the Avengers, he also has 3 heroic abilities.
Right.
Area of effect damage,
so that's his assault, the web bomb.
Control, but also
just web enemies nearby, get them stuck, and then you can defeat them with takedowns. That causes stagger damage and weakens their shields and main health bars.
Spider drone is a patrolling AI companion.
So tech-based, Spider drone, and that's the support.
You can choose whether to instruct it to roam a specific area of the fight, or set it to follow mode, offering some welcome flexibility on the battlefield.
Right, and you can upgrade the abilities as you go, so you can tailor similar to how you want to play the character. And giant web ball. That kind of gives me a little Shattered Dimensions vibes, where Amazing Spider-Man had like all those web-based moves with the fists and the maces and the hammers. So it's not too comic booky, but comic booky enough. Now this, so you can run, not fast at all, because the skybox and the limitations that you have in this world is very, very small. And the swinging there, stiff as hell, but it's at least swinging. It's better than not being able to swing at all in like these wide open areas, like the snowy tundra, for example. You will be able to swing in those areas, right? But it cuts off the momentum, so it's not fluid and smooth and fast. It's just, you want to get from point A to point B? There you go. Don't expect air tricks. Don't expect, like, you know, parkour. It's swinging.
Despite this, some of the magic,
yeah, again, anyone who thought we were going to get, like, Insomniac-level swinging in this game was mental.
But that magic often swiftly and unceremoniously evaporates as Parker smacks his face into that aforementioned glass ceiling. And
again, for what they're able to do in this is good enough. It's just, if you were expecting something smoother or more fluid, you're going to be disappointed. Which, again, you set your expectations way too high if you're looking forward to that.
All illusions are broken once you attempt to swing moderately high into the air and hit that invisible barrier.
Right.
Something that also affects wall running, which just stops you ascending.
It's interesting that there is wall running and wall crawling, they also confirm in this, but how useful would that be when fighting these armies of robots, you know? Probably not much.
Describing Spidey's arrival
kind of has like a web strike move almost, or at least a web pull.
Basically code for don't expect any story missions.
This sucks.
And that's exactly what you're getting.
No story missions.
Cutscene introducing Spider-Man to the rest of the team. The rest of what I saw of
no major campaign.
Suspicious chemical company was told through audio files, mainly emails and text messages.
That's super tacky.
Once certain objectives were completed. These objectives are all standard Avengers fare that long-term players will be familiar with, such as perform 25 power attacks or play any 2 missions.
Well, those are just like the objectives you get throughout the entirety of the game, like defeat 50 enemies as Black Panther, you know. So he'll have his own objectives, his own tasks to do to further his event.
Doesn't lack, however, is outfits.
Yeah, again,
not
a suit guy. That's hilarious. Marvel
suits.
Cinematic Universe.
Get
ready to pop your wallets, boys.
Comics,
Noir, Bugle Boy, Spider Armor, Ends of Earth. Cool. But again, for someone like me who doesn't care about suits, you're not going to get my money.
Attention doesn't seem to have been paid elsewhere regarding new missions or Spidey's traversal.
Again, that sucks. Super disappointing.
And while it does remain to be seen whether the wait has been worth it, for the moment, his addition feels more like a promise fulfilled through gritted teeth rather than one delivered with a smile.
Well said.
For more Spider-Man in Avengers, why not check out the latest
true.
trailer? And for everything
I
else,
absolutely agree with everything that this commenter had to say. What was his name? Just so I can give him credit. His name was Simon Cardy. I totally agree with everything that Simon had to say. It's absolutely a very, very strange deal that Sony, I would assume, struck with Crystal to include Spider-Man in this massive, super beloved IP of Avengers. Because again, the president of Square Enix himself, Yosuke Matsuda, went on record saying that this Avengers game was going to completely outperform in reviews and sales Spider-Man PS4 and the entirety of the Batman Arkham series. We see where it's at now. Absolutely not the case. And including Spider-Man into that game is just kind of the cherry on top of this very misproportioned sundae. So, we have him in the game. He's going to have combat. He's going to have web swinging to traverse in a way that at least feels different from flying as Iron Man and Thor, and not swinging from poles like Black Widow and Kate Bishop, but you can sky swing, and that's absolutely fine. That's totally what I expected. But the lack of narrative implementations and story content for a character as massive as Spider-Man just shows how making him a PlayStation exclusive was not the way to go. I mean, Spider-Man as a whole has 3 if you count the remaster games on the PlayStation 4 and 5 with Marvel Spider-Man 2 coming in 2023. It's clear that Spider-Man has a major presence on the PlayStation platform. But for a multi-platform game like Avengers, and seeing how we've also seen like a Nintendo Switch exclusive like Ultimate Alliance 3 also includes Spider-Man, I find it very strange that they did not include Spider-Man for all platforms, And what they could have done as a PlayStation exclusive feature, they could have added like the advanced suit as an alternate costume to try and incentivize people like, hey, remember those really good Spider-Man games that you do like? Well, get this costume from that game and wear it in Marvel's Avengers as a PlayStation exclusive. But no, the entire character is a PlayStation exclusive. So because of that, because he's only locked to one platform, they had to make sure that his narrative wasn't a big, major focal point of the game like Black Panther's expansion or Kate Bishop and Hawkeye's operation. He has to be included, have slight narrative that doesn't affect the broader scope of the main story they're telling with AIM and the Kree invasion, all this crazy stuff, but still make it have narrative sense to implement a character like Spider-Man in the Avengers world without making you feel disconnected to that universe. And that's what they did, but in doing so, they lost what people care about the most. For Spider-Man is the character, is Peter Parker, is his struggles, is his personal day-to-day life as Spider-Man teaming up with these heroes. And knowing that besides an opening cutscene, we're barely going to get any of that, and instead we're just going to learn it through audio logs and emails and read it through text, is incredibly lackluster and disappointing. Combat will be fun if you just want to literally turn your brain off after a long day at work or school, and you want to play this game, fight enemies with your friends, with the other Avengers at your side. More power to you. You're probably going to have fun with this, but it's, again, the same flaw we've seen with Marvel's Avengers time and time again. Once that's done, what do you have? Nothing. You're just waiting for the next piece of content to drop, and that's going to take probably 3 to 4 months, given how lackluster of a schedule Crystal Dynamics have had with this game since its launch. So, it's very strange, everybody. Again, it's Spider-Man, so obviously me and a million of you are going to play it because we love this character, but knowing what game Marvel's Avengers is, you should have set your expectations low like I did, not expect anything too crazy, and just be aware that Spider-Man is included in the Marvel's Avengers gaming format, and we have to take that as you will. Whether or not you love the game, heavily dislike the game, it all depends on your perspective, but hopefully that by the time he's included, it will be fun to actually get your hands on him to play for yourself. But with all that said, everybody, that is the video that I have for you today. Let me know all your thoughts in the comment section down below. What do you think of Spider-Man in Marvel's Avengers? Did you like his suit? Did you like his gameplay? I think sky swinging, again, is better than nothing, but we will have to wait and see as to how exactly the main traversal will act in motion while we play it hands-on, although granted it's not going to be anything close to how good it was in Insomniac's titles. Still, I love Spider-Man, I'm willing to give this a shot, and I'm just hoping that he will be fun enough to keep me invested in the game for a couple of days, and then again log off until they include the next hero or massive content drop down the line. But until then, true believers, thank you all so much for watching, spectacular Spidey fans. Leave a like on the video and subscribe to the channel if you did enjoy, and for more Marvel's Avengers / Spider-Man videos like this. And without further ado, peace out.